All right, everybody. Welcome to the 100 Proof Whitetails episode number 49.
49.
If our math is correct.
49.
I don't know. We've been doing this over 2 years now. Last episode was like, oh, there we go. I think our audio's good.
Yeah, that was good.
So yeah, last episode was basically our 2-ish year anniversary. So this is like 2-ish, take 2 for this episode. On our episode before gun season.
So technically, our 2-year anniversary. I think you actually made that post.
Well, it
Nuggets
was
on
like,
the show, by the way.
yeah, she's back here.
We're babysitting while doing the podcast.
Yeah. So if you hear some coos and oohs and ahs, hopefully she's gonna finish that bottle and
You
pass out.
see me open this beech nut veggies.
Yep.
It's not for me. It's for the baby.
You
I
can
swear.
you can share it. That's okay
I swear, it's for the
for the child. Well,
although these yogurt bites, these strawberry yogurt bites, are pretty delicious.
yeah. Oh, she heard you say Yogi Bites. No, she got to finish her what is it? Her rusk, whatever.
Rice rusk.
So before we get rolling with this tonight, we have three hats.
3 hats left, and then we'll drawing the blind.
We will give the blind away tonight
if we can sell all 3 hats.
So, if you guys are
actually, if we sell 2, I'll buy the last
one. All right, perfect. You buy a hat or 2.
I'll eat the last $20 if we sell 2 of them.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. If we can get these hats sold,
Christmas present.
I think it's perfect. Gun season present.
Gun season's coming.
These are New York legal hats. New York legal for gun season hats.
We'll even mail them out with a Miller Lite in them.
Yeah, we'll put a Miller Lite in them. We'll put some whiskey in them. So Nate tried the last little. Yeah. So Nate tried a little bit of the I guess the infinity barrel, I'm calling it, that goes maple syrup to bourbon to maple syrup to bourbon back and forth. And Nate was like, "Ooh, it smells like gasoline." And tries it, and he's like, "Ooh, that's sweet."
It tastes good.
Yeah. So a lot of good maple sugar in that. So, but yeah, so we'll give this rhino blind away if we can sell a couple hats. Because this is it. I mean, we only have 3 that aren't paid for. Everything else was paid for.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the past 2 weeks the hats flew.
Yep, going into gun season. We do have a stack over there. Those are all paid for.
Yeah, these are sold.
So we had to do a little head counting beforehand.
Which, thank you, Terry and Steve. Shout out.
Yep. And then I had, let me think, Zach, Kyle, Keith, a couple other folks bought them. We only got 3 left. So, might have 4. Might be able to dig up a 4th one if you or me decides that we want to give away one of our spares. So, if you guys want an extra chance, you can always buy them. But anyway, so.
And then that money goes to the next round of merch, which we're going to do T-shirts and ball caps.
I was talking to the place there. They're at the sauerkraut factory now, the local print shop, and they are
Shortsville. The one in Shortsville?
No, the one right down here in Phelps.
Oh, okay.
Volcam, not like almost like it almost spelled like Volcom, like the skateboarding brand. Remember that?
Yep.
I think that you were in that same vintage as me.
Yep.
So Volcam, not Volcom.
Let me try one.
Little Yogi Bite.
They are good.
So she loves them. They're like crack. But yeah, they're ready to hook us up, dude. They have this. I forget what the brand is that it was, but they were like the feel. You know how you get that good T-shirt feel? That's just comfortable.
I like Gildan.
They have Gildan, but they also have.
I like Gildan T-shirts.
I forget what it was. Hannah might know if she's tuning in. She's at a conference. That's why we're on babysitting dad duty tonight with the podcast.
Polyester stuff?
No.
I don't like that.
No, it's not like polyester. It's but it's like that, like Comfort Soft. You know, kind of like the the Whitetail Property shirt or whatever. It's kind of like that softer cotton. It's some kind of composite, whatever. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. But they have like 8 or 10 different brands you can try to run them. You could, a bunch of different colors, you name it. So that's probably what we're gonna do next is t-shirts, maybe
Seems like
hoodies
our
again.
colors
But
are black and white.
yeah, I mean we got. I mean this is like navy blue, but I mean we got like
I
brown,
do need to get
green.
Grandpa an upgraded sweatshirt because he's still on contraband.
Yeah.
He does wear it all the time though.
Mm-hmm. Well, we got you can't see me, but I'm wearing
Which I like the army
the
font.
yeah, like the stencil font or whatever it was. Yeah, that came up pretty good. Um, but a couple things going into gun season. Um, see if we got hit the mark on a couple shooters. That'd be cool. Um,
It's a good ones. I've got on camera.
yeah. So neighbor saw Hank. Pretty sure it was Hank by the way he described him cross the road the other day. So he's still kicking.
That's my dude.
Yeah. Don't shoot him. Shoot him next year. He'll be bigger. You got an expensive taxidermy bill already.
I know.
We were talking about this pre-show that Nate's like, man, he's got to be something really special for me to trigger one during gun season. He's like, I already got a taxidermy bill for one. Luckily for me, the cape was no good on mine. So,
Yeah. You're $100 in.
Yeah, I'm only about 100 in from Dahmer's taxidermy, which from last episode, if you guys missed it, Jesse 2-day turnaround, it was phenomenal. And right now he's pretty quick turnaround because he doesn't let him get stinky. So 3-4 days tops, I think, is what he said for a turnaround.
Yeah.
He did a short turnaround for me with the show, just out of a courtesy, but
Get your deer back in a week.
yeah, no, it was solid. The only thing he did was he JB welded the teeth in that we have to send out in the bottom jaw.
Oh.
So I gotta pry them out with a pick or something. But yeah, so teeth going out this week. Now that we got a good batch to send in one batch of mailers. Because you got what? Your Buck's teeth, mine, and then Caleb, who shot that stud, which he said he rough scored him, and he didn't give me a number. He's just like, I think it's way more than I anticipated. He's like, maybe I added an extra number somewhere or something. I was like, what, like 50s? Because I figured he's probably 50s. He's like, bigger. I'm like, maybe. Deer had a lot. It was a big freaking buck.
Yeah,
dude.
I saw him at the taxidermy.
He's a hammer, dude. I figured he was at least good mid 50s, like a solid mid 50s 10, which is a slammer of a buck. Killed him in the 100 proof mix.
Kill him, man.
Early season, just saying. But yeah, we got three bucks, and if they got all their tines still, dude, none of them are over 140. I mean, they're all in the same ballpark as the deer I killed, and they're all good 4 or 5 year old deer. I don't have any. There's no megas, and we tell you if we're chasing something good because they're just not out there. You're not seeing anything. We don't have anything on the lease that's like that. I mean, we might have one that might be 40 on the lease, that wide 9.
Yeah,
maybe.
that's pushing it.
I think he's mid 30s. He's a solid buck, but
he's definitely 30.
Then we got that big 6. He's not a real high scoring deer, but just really cool deer.
He's got hellacious brow tines.
Yeah, he's got like 8 or 9 inch brows, dude.
He's got pushing 10-inch brow tines.
Yeah, really close to that.
But he's a 6.
Yeah, it kind of is like a cross between like Rocky, George, but then like super brows. I think biggest brow tines either of us have killed. I think my biggest is like maybe 5-6 inches for brows. Is the biggest one, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think you got anything with much bigger brows than that.
I don't have any deer with really big brows.
Yep.
Maybe a 6-inch brow.
6-7 inch, maybe. But yeah, no, it's cool. You got outshot the guns.
Yep.
The other day.
Did you get out?
I got out. Me and
Really?
Keith took a trip over to the Hilltop Gun Club over there in Clyde. We shot a little bit. We talked about it a little bit last episode because I did it that last Friday, or sorry, not Friday, Wednesday. Um, before the podcast, before Ryan and Dylan came out, because I had a nice day. I think it was like 70 that day still. And shot the pistol, shot the 270. The only thing I didn't shoot was the muzzleloader, which I got thinking on the way there. I'm like, why am I shooting the rifle? Like, I got to shoot a buck with my muzzleloader. Like, all these deer I've killed, I haven't yet to kill one with a muzzleloader. Oh, got it.
Jesse.
Here we go. Oh, here we go. Jesse says, I got this buck that's got 2 giant brows, and that's it. That's called a booner spike.
That's
Is
a
what that is.
monster spike.
So I have a spike that's probably got 9-inch spikes.
9-inch brow tines.
9-inch brows, nothing else. I think it might be the same buck Jesse's seeing.
I mean, if we're counting that, I got one with.
He's at least an 11 point. Yeah, the Wayne County 11.
That is a Wayne County 11.
I like that. Seneca County, wherever you're calling home. And then, hey, guess what? We're gonna call you out.
Come on, Bo.
Get your hat. It's signed, dude. Come on.
It's ready to go.
It's ready. I mean, I'll put a crossbow draw cable in with it. Make sure that you can draw your crossbow. With that hat bow, so we can get that done. Jesse says Seneca County 11. Yes, sir. Absolutely. But yeah, so we're trying to sell these last 3 hats, and we'll give the blind away tonight if we can get them sold. But what?
You got some more snacks, Nuggy?
Yep. She's over here scratching. She'll make an appearance before the end of the night, but
yeah,
she's just down there hanging out, having some food. What do you got left?
Not sure where it went.
You drop it?
Me?
No, her.
You can't talk.
Well, yeah. Anyway, so gun season, are you going? Oh, look at this. We got some live questions right here.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Can I post this live? Let me ask.
Oh, no.
Oh, Nick says, just shot you a message. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Nick, is it okay if we put them on the screen and put them up for a panel discussion? Question mark. Thoughts on age?
Beauty.
I think it's stud, is what I think. Yeah, good buck. That's right, Nuggy. All right, is this the same buck in both these? Okay, so he's got a still and then he's got a video. November 6th. I know where I'm gonna go with it. I'm just gonna ask Nick before, obviously, I post the picture or video, because I think the video definitely shows his body a lot better. If you're cool with it, we're gonna. Oh, that's a good picture. If you're cool with it, we'll post a picture and let it go to the panel of everybody deciding. I like the video better though.
It's a stud.
Yeah, I think that's.
Oh, it's under your chair.
Oh, their bottle.
Yeah. That's what Nick's saying. Is that okay?
Hold on.
I know where I'm at.
All right, let me know if. Oh. Well, you gotta message me back in.
I'd rather you not.
All right, fine.
You showing all of them.
I'm going 4.5 plus all day.
I was gonna say 5, yeah.
Neck meets that brisket. Solid through the chest. I mean, that's easy.
Back's got sway to it.
Bo says 3.5. Nick's all good, all good. So sorry about that. Sorry about that, Nick. Didn't mean to blow it up. Bo says 3.5. I think that deer is easily 4.5, 5 years old. Without a doubt. Neck goes into that brisket, perfect. Good solid buck. Not just talking about his headgear, but that body. I mean, that's what's gonna really push me to that on the age on that. So sorry, you guys just got a quick look at it, teaser look.
Well, I just gotta go replay it.
Dude, that deer's 4. That deer's 4 or 5 years old.
Well,
Right there. That profile shot.
look at that picture of him in that green field.
Yeah.
That thing's a tank. That body on that deer. Look at his shoulder compared to his ass end.
It's balanced. It's bourbon barrel. Freaking yeah. That's
Boom.
yeah.
So shoot him so we can send the teeth out and find out, Nick.
Yeah. I like that idea. It's all
Do
good.
that.
Itching to get out with my gun. Fill my archery tag the 23rd. Yeah. Me and Nate hear you, dude. We filled ours right around. What was yours? 28th of October.
27th.
27th. And then I killed right in the beginning of November. And on a target buck, both of us target bucks. I mean,
We didn't even know the one I shot existed because
well, yeah.
it's that property's about a half hour away, and we don't really get over there consistently to pull cards. We don't really sell cams.
No.
So
Well,
I mean, after we shot him and we went through and we pulled some cards, we had tons of pictures of that deer.
In the last 2 weeks before you shot him, absolutely. That deer was all over the place. But we figured he was 3, and that's kind of what our goal was for that property. Similar to like what mine is for Grandma's. Grandma's is a 3-year-old.
It was bottom jaw. We figured it was 3.
Yep. But we got the teeth out of them to send away. We talked about that's something we're doing this week.
Did you get your teeth from Six
Yeah,
Pack?
I got to freaking pry them out though. Remember Jesse glued them all in?
Oh, right. No, I mean by looking at them.
Yeah, I think he could be a 3-year-old, dude, judging by
3
his
to
teeth.
4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's right on that.
I remember when we
Yeah,
dragged him out, you pulled his bottom lip back, and you're like,
looking at those front teeth.
you're like, they're pretty sharp. You're like, maybe a 3-year-old.
Yeah, that front teeth there. Well, but I said the same thing about Hornet, and he came back 4. You go off the body. I mean, the teeth, when they cross section them, you really get that definitive.
But then there was that 8-point I shot a few years back that the body looked, it was long, but it wasn't, and he came back as 4.
And then Rocky was 3.
And then Rocky dressed out at 210 pounds, just a massive animal, and he came back at 3.5. He was younger than the one that dressed out at 160.
They're just like people, dude. No matter what, you're still gonna get. It's law of averages, but they're still like people. End of the day. Bo says pictures can be very deceiving. In your field deer looks a lot bigger. In a field, yeah, I mean that's fair. In a field, it looks a lot bigger versus and also with the right camera angle. I mean, you can make a 2-year-old look like a 9-year-old.
Hell yeah.
If you get real low.
Bo, we made my 115 look like 150. Not quite 150.
Well, yeah, all good. Oh, there's Caleb.
Caleb who?
Mower Caleb.
Shoemaker?
Sold.
Caleb! All right.
2 left.
Actually,
2 left.
1. We sell 1 more. We're drawing the blind tonight.
Keith says gonna need another blaze orange hat. Kristen stole mine again.
And a boy, Keith.
We got 1 left, guys. Who wants it? Might be able to come up with 2.
If we really come up with 2.
Yep.
$20, Nick.
Nick, $20 for a hat
and a chance at the blind.
Yep, and we'll draw it tonight.
100.
We'll draw it tonight. I might have to get the circle spinner.
Is Nick
ready
local?
To go. Down Ovid way, down along the lake.
Oh, so
If he's still down there.
Yeah, Kyle, we got yours set aside.
Kyle, yours is set aside. You're all good. Yep. That's all good. We did that little head count before we got started, make sure we had enough. So we got 1, maybe 2 left, and each hat is a chance. So Keith will have 2 chances. One of your work buddies from work's got 2 chances. Mark's got 2 chances. You got a whole list on your phone that you sent me.
Yeah, well, now
So-
I got to add a bunch.
Yep. So, yeah, but we can do that. We can do that when we're talking real time with this. But yeah, we sell this last hat or 2. 2 hats available left. We'll say 2. Because I mean, Bo still hasn't claimed. I mean, if anybody wants mine and Nate's signature hat,
Yeah. Bo doesn't want us to know where he lives.
yeah, pretty much. This might just be the new hat that lives on the barbuck down here. She put a cigarette hanging out of its mouth with the orange
I think
beanie
it's
hat.
because you put X-Bow on it.
That might be why he doesn't want it, because I said crossbow Ben with a heart.
Yeah.
Give my shout out to Bo there. But I think that's what I'm going to sit with opening day of gun season. I think I'm going to take the crossbow because that's my new rifle.
Yeah, you shoot 100 yards with it.
So speaking of that, I don't know if I told you. So when me and Keith went to the range, and Keith will back me up on this, we're shooting the rifles. We're shooting pretty good. Shot the pistol, and my pistol ammo, the stuff I shot St. Patrick with, wasn't grouping worth the shit for whatever reason. It's old. I mean, they don't make it anymore. It's discontinued. So I had these Remington 180s that my uncle gave me.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I'll try these. And we started shooting them, and they're freaking grouping. I mean, like grouping. And so we're shooting it, and I told Keith, I said, I think I'm going to run with those 180s. They're hitting like 2.5 inches low. So I didn't want to touch the scope or fuck with it. I'll just hold it a little hot.
Mhm.
And we were shooting out 30 yards, something like that. And then we shot the rifles. They were good. Shot the flipper buck, the iron buck, all that stuff. It was cool. Yeah. And then Keith is like, he's like, hey, can I shoot your handgun? I was just like, yeah, sure. He shoots a couple rounds with it. He's like, oh, that's sweet, dude. He's like, I need to get one of these. And he's like, I'm gonna give Keith a little shout right now. He's like, I'll hit that iron buck. I'm like, that thing's out there 200 yards. And I got that red dot on that 357. He goes down there, and I shit you not, I give Keith all the props in the world. Offhand, hits that motherfucker on the first shot. Not the flipper, but hits the iron buck. Hits the target.
Mhm.
I hear it go ping, and I'm like, you fucking hit it. He's like, what? Offhand, not even off a bag or nothing.
Attaboy.
And then he presumes to take another one, or I think he shot 1 or 2 more shots, didn't hit it. And then of course when we told Brian's like, yeah, you gotta quit when you're ahead with a shot like that. Come on. Fuck. Red dot on a freaking 357 offhand. Come on. Hit it the first round, let it go. So then I was like, I gotta try it. I got a couple boxes of that Remington ammo. I was like, I tried it. So I put it off the bag. First shot, boom. Keith's like, he's like, I think you're a little high. I'm like, okay. And he told me where he was aiming. So we're having to put the red dot about at the fucking antler level of the buck to drop this 357 round into the target
200 yards.
at 200 yards with a handgun revolver,
6-inch barrel,
6-inch barrel revolver. And so I'm off a bag. First shot, I whiff it. Keith says he's like, I think you hit a little high. So I'm like, okay. So I go back down on the bag, cock it back, shoot it, ping. I was like, holy shit. Try a third shot, whiff it again. I'm like, you're right, I'm done. So I think combined we were.
Was Brian there with you?
No, he wasn't there with us, but he was like, he's like, you guys gotta quit when you're ahead with it. But it was really good. Like Keith says in the comment, he tried really hard. So I will give him props, but Keith shot a lot.
I tried hard, Nate. Attaboy.
So yeah. So it was.
Ben don't like me dumping these.
Yeah, I just don't want her to shove like 5 of them in her mouth.
They
She doesn't have portion control.
They dissolve. Neither do I.
So Yeah, so Keith shot really well, but he used to shoot like competitive pistol and
Keith,
that
you get
kind
a
of
deer
stuff.
yet?
Yeah, he shot one, scabbed one, with his bow.
Buck
And
though.
buck.
Scab the
Button.
buck or he shot the buck?
Button. With the bow. And then shot a doe and
Attaboy.
didn't get her. Shot her up high through the backstrap, he thinks. But dude, he's overrun with freaking does. We need to just go out there like during muzzleloader and just go on like a doe mission and just like murder a pile of them because he's got no bucks, dude. He doesn't even have anything older than a year and a half old, like on camera. Period. And he's like, I'm seeing like 20 does a night. I'm like, yeah, we need to herd a little bit. So, yeah, Key said shot a button buck. Think it was doe. Binos, dude.
Happens.
We've all done it. And if you haven't, you have not killed enough deer. Plain and simple.
Yep.
There you go, Nuggy. Bo says, I'll tell you what, I hunted a lot of state land recently, and I had to totally change the way that I scout because of crossbow hunters. Hey. On that crossbow kick, I've been seeing Bo commenting on the hunting pages that, good to see guys getting done with a vertical bow. I mean, he thought that 6-pack was my first deer with a vertical bow. I don't know if he might have been busting my chops, but I've never shot a buck with a crossbow. I shot 2 does with a crossbow, but that was during the late muzzleloader season. That I shot him with that crossbow, and that was just because it was, cold or whatever. But I think it's a good weapon, dude. I like
it's a certified killer.
Yeah.
It's an efficient killer.
It is.
If used properly.
Have a good night, boys. Yep, Keith, have a good one. But yeah, the crossbow thing. I mean,
back in the day, wars were won because of the crossbow.
It doesn't matter. I mean, whatever buck you're chasing, if he's still alive, Joe Baloney from the gas station with his orange hat and his Marlboro cigarette is gonna kill him with a Ithaca Pump 20 gauge on opening day anyway.
I know a lot of them guys, and I don't know if they're killing them.
Eventually,
one of them will get.
There's a chance that one of the good ones is gonna get knocked down by a guy, that doesn't have a lot of skin in the game with it, or a guy with a crossbow is going to knock one down, which is it's all part of it, dude. I think if it's keeping more hunters out there and engaged, and this is where Bo will probably disagree with us, but I think it's a good tool. I think it's a good tool for older hunters and then younger hunters getting into the sport. I think it's awesome. Like when Ryan and Dylan were on last week, I told him, I was like, he used, because of the way youth season is, I was like, he could use a crossbow because you don't need an archery course, which I think that should change. I'm also going to go on the record with that. I think if you're hunting with a crossbow, you need to take the archery course. You know what I mean? I think there's some muzzleloader stamp to get you through the door for a crossbow use. You got to take the archery course. If it's an archery implement, you got to take the archery course. Yeah. That's just my take. But currently you don't need to do that. So like I told Ryan and Dylan, I was like, Dylan, you could go get a bow tag. I said, right now you can't really hunt during gun season.
Yeah.
You could hunt does. I said, but you could hunt muzzleloader, crossbow. I don't think you can use your bow muzzleloader. I'd have to read the reg book and see how that fits, but I don't think, even if you used a bow or a muzzleloader, I don't think you can use your bow muzzleloader tag, because that's for the bow muzzleloader season, I believe. The only one that changes is your regular season turns into either sex in the muzzleloader season.
Yeah.
So,
bow muzzleloaders for early and late.
Yep. You can't use it during the regular season.
Which I feel
even if you use the weapon.
I wish New York would let you use your regular season tag in bow season.
If you're shooting with the vertical bow, I will say that. If you're smacking both of them with a crossbow, maybe not. I mean, but that's where
I get with that.
I mean, dude, we're we're like top 3 in the nation for number of hunters. We have a lot of people that deer hunt in New York State
A lot of deer die in New York
every
this
year
coming
weekend.
Saturday.
Yep, they don't even know what's going ahead of them yet. So we'll see. We'll see if I'm probably going to go back to the stand where I shot Curly and St. Patrick just because I want to keep an eye on that border. If the wind's right for it, if not, I probably will go to the stand down in that neck of the woods too that I can sit.
Have you looked at the wind for Saturday?
I haven't actually.
I haven't looked at the weather.
No, I haven't
It's
either.
open a day. It's not like it matters.
Well, we did do the sit alert for today, which
I was kind of hoping someone would chime in and say they'd punch their tag on the sit alert.
yeah, that'd be sweet. I think.
I bet you it was dynamite this morning.
Oh, dude, we were. I was showing ground this morning. Showing pieces.
Deer everywhere.
Dude, I was showing pieces of property. We were running into fresh scrapes. We were running into spots where you get into a spot and you know like how fresh a deer has been in there because like you walk in and you're just like, I smell a buck.
Yeah.
Like when we walked onto the first piece that we put an offer in on, so we're waiting to hear back on that. But we walk in there and the first thing we go is the guy looking to buy kind of looks back at me. Caleb, I guess say Caleb. Caleb looks back at me and he's just like, he kind of looks back and he kind of smiles. I'm like, yeah, I smell a buck. I was like, I smell it. And there's a couple other spots where you could just smell it when you walked in there for a buck. Fresh scrapes on a couple pieces. Some really fresh rubs on a couple pieces too. On top of the leaf type shavings. So really cool stuff. So anyway, so the weather for Saturday is a damn straight west, slightly northwest. Coming out of the north, so it's north spinning into northwest. And they're talking 35 and sunny Saturday morning. That's going to get a ton of people in the woods. There's going to be quite a bit of banging. You want to take the over and under of shots before legal daylight on opening day? Because I think we're falling in pretty close to a full moon, dude. It's pretty bright out.
I know last night it was.
I mean, I don't know what the
9:30.
moon.
It still felt like the sun was going down.
Moon phase calendar.
The moon was pretty full.
Waxing give us
Tonight.
98. 15. So what's opening day?
Saturday.
No, like the date.
16th.
16th? Oh boy. 16th is 99%. It's the day after the full moon. So with a crystal clear bluebird sky night, well, bluebird sky, starry night, I mean, you're going to be, the only thing that would make it brighter would be snow. And we're not cold enough to get snow with it.
Holy moly.
Yeah, talk about a situation for it.
No, that's what I mean.
Oh, the essay here? Wow, whoa. Bo, you're going to take up, you almost blocked the whole blind. So speaking of the blind, we saw this last hat that Bo's comment covers up. We're going to give the blind away tonight.
Bo, buy a second hat for your girlfriend or your wife, whatever.
Boyfriend, crossbow hunter, whatever.
Boyfriend. I don't know.
It doesn't matter
What your pronouns are. But
yep. I think we get this last hat sold, dude. We'll give this away tonight. I think, and that'll be a great.
Got to say anyway.
So anyway, so hate to rag on crossbows all the time, but I think the real issue in New York State is the way they're trying to accommodate everything with a $2 harvest system. Feels like New York keeps adding opportunities, but isn't focusing enough on the quality of the hunt and the deer herd structure. After hunting in PA for 2 years, I'm amazed at how much better the deer herd looks down there. It's like a breath of fresh air. Honestly, I'm not even motivated to hunt in New York anymore. Wish. Well, wish upon a shooting star and see what happens with it. It's pocketed, dude. I mean, we've said that before with New York, dude. You could go the next side of the hill and they get pounded by pressure, neighbors, extra hunters. A little bit different, thoughts and stuff like that from people. But then you get into the right
PA,
block.
though, you have
It's just
so
three
much more
aside.
timber.
Yeah.
New York, you get up north in New York, there's a lot of timber.
So hunters per square mile, I want to say New York's only behind like Michigan. I think Pennsylvania has more hunters, but less per square mile. Got to go to the deer report.
Deer report.
Deer report.
Oh, all right.
Got to go to
Got the
numbers.
magazine
Come
on.
on, come on.
Got the
If we're
magazine
gonna
on.
spit some numbers, we're gonna spit some facts. Hi, Nuggy. How's that pouch going? You want to read the book? Antlered Buck Harvest. Top 5 states for the Northeast.
You
So,
wanna read it, Nuggy?
New York kills a whole 1 buck less per square mile than Pennsylvania. So Pennsylvania's still killing more bucks per square mile than New York. Just so we're starting off with that. Hunters. Buck harvest. Should have these all marked up. I think I have a hold on a second. Hold on a second, Bo says. Working on it. So what I think percentage of annual harvest. I'll pick this up here. There we go. Percentage of harvest by weapon type for the Northeast. Bow harvest, meaning archery harvest, for New York is only 24% of the deer harvest. So only a quarter of our harvest is with archery equipment in New York, and that's bow and crossbow, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So 11 with muzzleloader, which that sounds about right. I figured about 10%, and then we have 64% is during the firearm season. Shotgun, rifle, pistol also goes in that category. We are the lowest outside of Maine and Virginia for bow harvest. Pennsylvania is creeping up 35%. Everything else is pretty much in the high 30s and 40s for archery harvest.
Now, is this comparable to states with similar seasons? Because our season is a month long of gun.
Oh, well, I take this back. In the Northeast, we have like the longest season. But there's places in like the Carolinas, dude, you can hunt till almost February and you start in September.
I'd like 1 week of gun season. Let's go right back to bow.
I would love a 10-day gun season. Get you that first weekend to Thanksgiving, maybe that second weekend after or whatever, depends on how it falls. Get rid of that third Saturday thing. Just figure it out how it works out good with that. And I think that would be solid. But again, what works for one of us might not work for the rest of us. Here's Puff. There you go. So yeah, I think our numbers for the bow, because they're putting crossbow in with that, are going to creep up for our total harvest, because I've seen a lot more deer taken and a lot more deer definitely taken on the hunting pages with crossbow the last couple of years. Oh, I think it's definitely increasing. I'm definitely in agreement with that it's doing that. Successful hunters for New York is only 30%. Shoot a deer, not a buck, but a deer, if you're wondering. And in New York,
I'd bump that up to like 50%.
Only in New York, only 8% of hunters shoot more than one deer. That's total. That's bucks and does. I mean, that could be 2 does.
I'm at 8%.
Top 10%. That's what I'm saying. Um, New York also is. I will give you this. In the last year's data, New York has, based on probably our season length, is because of this. In the Northeast, we are the second highest average days of field per hunter in the Northeast, probably because of our longer season.
Yeah, the average days of field.
Yep. That's drone use, which is a new one. Trail cams on public land, supplemental feeding, baiting. Northeast, believe it or not, 0 states in the Northeast allow baiting. They have changed to not allow baiting. The only ones that still allow baiting is New Jersey and New Hampshire.
Deer.
Anyway,
Really puppy.
get to some comments. Ooh, piece of candy, Nuggy. All right.
So there's
Caleb comments and says it's difficult in the process of competition with 20 other hunters in the same square mile that makes it so rewarding. That's true. I mean, you know, that's definitely a fair point that looking at the amount of hunters as, being able to go in that neighborhood and kill consistently. I mean, where you killed your buck, dude, it's surrounded by public. I mean, there's only one private piece that touches it, literally.
Yeah.
And the corn was all still up. I mean, we saw a couple solid. I mean, I saw a solid buck that morning. You saw 2 solid bucks. You shot one of them.
Yeah.
And there might have even been another buck in there that morning that you didn't see.
Yeah, very well could be.
Good.
Surprised.
You weren't sure if the one heavy 8 that we had on camera that morning was the same one you saw up top. It might have even been a different buck. You weren't 100%.
Well,
you didn't get 100% ID on him.
Not 100%, but I'm almost positive it was. And if it was, he'd have walked up the edge of the woods, and I should have seen him to my left. But that window is kind of small. If I'm looking off to my right, gazing off in that direction for 30 seconds or whatever, he could have easily just walked that gap, and I didn't see him.
Yep.
And then once he gets past that gap, it's all goldenrod and everything. I wouldn't have been able to see him anyways until he got to the top of the hill. Was where I actually spotted him.
Yep. But again, the key takeaway, they say like it was 18 sits a year for a hunter in New York.
I'm way past that.
I don't think we are, dude. Well, total, yeah. But not for archery, not for success. I mean,
I'd have 18 sits in now if I didn't punch my tag.
Yeah, but you're spreading that out too. You're not going to the same spot 18 times.
Yeah, I got multiple properties.
Multiple properties, different winds. Spreading out the pressure with it.
But I mean, if I was just hunting public and I was, I don't know,
bouncing and banging,
a little more I guess you would say the average hunter on the spectrum. I guess 18 is probably right.
I'd be curious.
You don't really have a lot of places to go. You're just going to.
I would be curious on how the split is, which it might be a little skewed with our audience because of where we are, but I think a lot of guys are more of the. There's not many guys and girls, sorry, that listen to the show that are necessarily solely public land. I mean, somebody's got a permission piece or a lease piece or an owned piece somewhere.
I mean,
typically
a lot of our friends are
because
permission pieces. I mean, we have friends that hunt public, and we have friends that are very successful on public.
Yep. But we also don't have a ton of public here where we live either. There's some public and there's some solid public. But it's a grind. Bow season you can get away with a little bit less pressure, I guess. But once the guns roll out on public, in this area. Like, I wouldn't go to a lot of the state game lands, especially during those first week or two of gun
Like,
season.
if any of you guys got TikTok or anything like that, and you see the videos, like that's real. Like,
Yeah, I've been out there, dude. It's not. I've been out there opening weekend and sat like Howland's Island and stuff like that, kind of hometown public, and it's
growing up, going to
there's a
pushing
lot of
some-
ground, dude. There's a lot of rounds flying in the air.
I grew up pushing, and
Brush bunny.
yeah, I was brush bunny, and it's sketchy.
Oh yeah,
You
dude.
get out there, but you don't know who,
You better have one of the
where,
hats
or
on.
when, or what you're gonna run into.
Yeah.
On public.
Yep. No, definitely. Look at the other states, and they have crossbow implemented longer, and their deer take is almost even with their firearm season. Yeah, I mean, if you're introducing crossbow, you know, what you got to look at is total harvest trend. If the harvest trend total is going up, you know, versus, and you got to look at it on, I hate to say this, but you got to give it like a 5 year. You got to give it a fair shake, essentially, to look and see if
you
it's.
could just have one hot year.
Yeah, you could have one
Or
hot
two
year.
hot years, and then it dips off.
Yep. And again, New York is an estimate system as well. They plan on a probability of error with the reporting system based on the number that report total to get their idea for it. And we've talked about this before on the podcast where I think you should have to mandatory report before you can get your tags for the next season. I think that should be a mandatory thing. Again, data wise, does the state really care if it was a year and a half old versus a 3.5 year old buck? No.
Which,
but if you could say, yeah, I shot my 2 does last year, I reported both of them, check mark, whatever, to be able to get your tags for the next year, or like, hey, I didn't tag a deer last year. Okay, perfect, fine. And again, people are going to be like, well, people won't report their tags. People already don't report their tags. They think we're less than 50% reporting rate. I will say, my buck's called in. Nate's buck's called in.
Both my deer called in.
Both your deer. Yeah, I forgot you shot the doe in the early antlerless.
Sure, guys, I'm like, how do you already have 4 deer this year? I'm like, 4? I only shot 2. I don't know where they're getting that from.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. I posted a video the other day, and everyone's like, "Congrats, congrats, congrats!" It was a Whitetail Properties like promo video, and everyone's like, "Oh, congrats on your buck!" I'm like, "That's not my buck." And then one guy's like, "That your buck from last year?" I'm like, "I didn't shoot a buck with my bow last year."
I didn't shoot a buck last year.
Yeah,
I shot 4 does.
No. Upstate hunting is right with 20 hunters per square mile. My neighbor and I sat down and figured we had 28 known hunters per square mile by us, and those are just people that we know. I personally believe, I'm sure it's pockets, but there's a lot more deer hunters now than there were before, even though the DC says numbers are down. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at it on a neighborhood basic like that, I mean, per square mile is, what's that, 46,000, that's an acre. Square mile, what's a square mile? How many acres is a square mile? I should know this. I want to say it's like 600. How many acres per square mile? 640. So let me think. In my block of 640, it's probably got to be close to with guests and buddies and friends and stuff. I would say we're probably close to 15 or 20 easily.
Oh yeah.
On our properties. Yeah, I think that's probably a pretty fair number.
You fool.
I could see 28. I mean, you get into a pocket, you get closer over by. I think my grandma's would be creeping up on 28. That one property by grandma's has almost 10 guys on like 30 acres for opening day. That was nuts, dude. The freaking amount of trucks there on that piece was like, whoop, parked down the road. I was like, gosh, damn. Yeah. But definitely it's all pockets. You get in the right property, dude. And again, think of back in the day though, you used to just get, like you said, get a group of guys together for a drive,
Throw them in the back of the truck and let's go.
put a dozen guys in, let's push this 200 acres out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
and then 2-3 hours later, a whole nother group of guys is pushing the same woods. There's just deer running
pushing it the other way. Yep. And that changed a lot too. I remember back in the day, driving down the road, and one of our things, I think it might have even been before we had the farm, maybe not. We used to drive by this one ditch, and if it didn't rain the night before, if it was dry, the deer crossing that ditch, because it was so wide, would leave like water footprints in the road, and we would figure out if the deer were going that way in the morning or that way in the morning, and we would drive that road in the morning and check to see which way the deer were moving, going in or out of this ditch, going on one side of the road or the other.
Do a drive or just a set?
Just to sit, but but I mean that could be super productive for a drive standpoint. Like, hey, dude, all the deer want to cross this road out of the ditch in the morning. Like, there's like a water trail going across the road.
Pick that baby up. She's tired of sitting there.
All right.
She wants Dada to hold her.
Yep.
We're winding down anyways. And we are giving the blind away. I bought the last hat.
Unless somebody wants to claim it.
Andy tuned in.
Andy, we got 1 or 2 hats left if you want one. If you're interested, $20.
Andy already told me. He tried giving him one last year. He said he don't wear knit hats.
Oh, that's right.
Ball cap guy.
That's right. What do you think, Nuggy? One more.
There she is.
One more.
Making the debut.
Yeah.
Born for the spotlight.
Born for it. Andy says, good luck Saturday. I'll have my lucky sweatshirt on. The contraband.
Contraband.
Yeah.
Contraband. Hey.
Hey.
Good luck.
Good luck, everybody. Contraband. Contraband sweatshirt. Bo says, you factor the number of guys, the accuracy of rifles and crossbows. These deer don't have a chance. Numbers are way down in my area.
There.
I mean,
you want to see the magazine?
There you go. That's the NDA deer report is where we're pulling our data from.
Start doing some reporting math.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, you tell him. You tell him, Bo. Bo says you take Venmo? Yeah, Bo, we take Venmo.
Yeah, we take Venmo.
Well, you want another chance? You got a free one, but we'll sell you that last hat, too.
He just doesn't want it because that one's signed.
Yeah, he just doesn't want that one because it's signed. Sam says she's so happy.
She's a happy baby.
All right. Well, since we are giving this away, I need to get this random.
Bo wants it.
Bo wants it?
Yeah.
You want it, Bo?
Bo, give us a thumbs up if you want that second hat.
Ship them in the same bag. We got it. Spoken for.
All right.
It's done.
Thank you, Bo.
Thank you, Bo.
For the support.
We do have
Thanks
one.
For tuning in every week and busting Ben's chops on his crossbow.
I love it.
That I think you forced him to sell. I don't even think he has it anymore.
I don't. It's sold.
Yeah.
All right. So
Bo's doing God's work over here.
Yep. God's work. God's work. Here we go. Random name. That's what it was. Random name.
So you gotta plug all the names in. You want to get my list out?
Yeah, the list would be nice. Wheel of Names is what we're using, if anybody's wondering. And we still have everybody's name in there from the last one, if you were wondering. When we gave the cameras away, that we still have 2 cameras that never got picked up.
Okay, one now.
Steve and
Bogart?
Yeah, Steve Bogart. And I'm trying to think of the other one that. All right, Nuggy, we gotta. Hey, you're eating the report.
You want me to hold her?
You're eating the report.
So, if you understand how I do this with the times 1, times 2.
Times 2.
That's how many chances they get. You just need to add in Terry and Steve L times 2.
Steve L.
Yeah, his last name's Lush, but
yep, got the 2 for Steve. Then you're saying,
yeah,
okay, perfect.
2 for Steve, One for Terry,
All right, so we're gonna put these in.
and then Bo's second one,
So we're gonna put Bo Hunton,
and then the.
and then we're gonna put Bo Hunton.
Who's those in?
And then we got Caleb.
And don't forget the two from earlier. This old Keith and
We got Caleb. Then we got Josh. It's Uncle Josh.
Josh Knapp, the man, the myth, the legend.
And then we got Jason, 2. Got 2 Jasons.
He's my access guy.
Oh, gotcha. Vandermally. We're gonna put Vander.
Vandermail, he tuning in? He's got the week off.
We're just gonna put Vander on there because Jake didn't buy one because Jake doesn't like us. Terry G. We'll shout you guys out. Thank you, everybody. My dad, Brian, Zach from 50 Food Plots, Kyle C. We got Keith, and then Keith again because Keith took a second one. What else we got? We got Tim Parrish. That's Danny Thorne's son-in-law. We got Mark B. And Mark B. Grabbed a pair of them there. And then, who am I missing? Your co-workers?
Well, Terry G is one Terry. He just hasn't paid yet, but I'll get it from him.
And the other two?
Steve.
Steve?
Steve L. And then did you get Keith's second one?
Yep.
From earlier in the show, and then someone else chimed in and said they were Nick. Was it Nick? Yeah.
He said how much. He never said they took them. Keith took one of the second hats, and then
well, there's a second one that went. Or was it Caleb? Caleb. There's somebody big. Big burp. You see the turkey?
Caleb S. for that one. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
19. We bought 20 hats.
Yeah.
So that tracks because we sold one of ours and I still got the one at my house that we were keeping.
Yep. You got it. So we're all good there.
We bought 20 hats.
Bought 20, got the 19. We are set. Bo says, I'll take them both if you can ship them in the same bag. Absolutely, Bo, we can.
No problem.
So this is for the Rhino 100.
Rhino.
Bo just doesn't want to wear that crossbow hat. I think that's exactly what it is. I don't think he wants to wear the...
Well, he's going to frame that one. The autograph one?
Yeah. Put that in one of the jersey frames. All right, share screen. Let's see if we can do this here. All right, now I got to remember.
Who's going to win?
All right.
Okay.
If you guys can comment, let us know if you can hear us. Because I'm pretty sure we're testing this.
Give us a thumbs up, anything.
We got the wheel going. Everybody's name on it. Everybody's good. I think we're good.
You ready, Nuggy?
Got the mic on down here. On this screen. Main screen for this. All right, guys.
They didn't say they could hear us.
I don't know. Still hear you.
They can see it.
Oh,
Steve! Big winner. Congrats, Steve. I'll bring your blind. Well, he's not going to be at work tomorrow, but he'll be there Friday.
Friday?
Friday.
So congrats, Steve. And
He might be tuning in.
Steve and his wife both got one, right?
Yeah.
So Steve L, you guys saw
Steve
it.
and his wife won. I don't have his wife's name. So
His
I
wife,
put-
she
I
probably
put Steve.
yeah, Steve L,
both of
Steve
them.
L. So
Steve, thank you for your support.
yep,
Thank you everybody for your support
100%,
and congratulations.
absolutely. So, boom. What do you think,
Later.
Dougie?
Congrats, Steve. Congrats, Steve.
Go, Steve. Go, Steve. Sorry, Steve. I was
Steve's,
bored.
Steve's a pretty avid trapper. I told him maybe in the off season we could have him come on and talk about some of his trapping.
Yep. Caleb says, still hear you. Perfect. So, good. That's also really good to know, dude. With the freaking audio that we got that figured out with the split
Yeah.
screens and being able to do that.
You can actually hear us.
Because we've had some good conversations that have gone away. What's up, Nuggy? You go, Ball.
So what did we? So you
Ready?
didn't tell me what did we win for the scarecrow thing? Like,
Oh,
well, what did you win? Like,
gosh.
did we get like a trophy or something?
Yeah.
Really? I ain't seen it. I saw you. Well, you messaged me.
Yep.
That your setup won. You're a Nuggy setup. Boing, 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 boing. Wait, I go upstairs. It must be on his end stand. Ben's first trophy.
It's in my trophy case.
Ben, there's some boom booms going on in your pants.
Oh, you farting, Nuggy?
Ah, I don't smell anything yet. Oh, there it is. That's a nice trophy. Little pumpkin head.
Little scarecrow.
100 proof. 100, wow, and whitetail properties.
Underproof
100
Whitetail Properties won most humorous for the scarecrow contest. There it is. So
you got Poe's number. Get him his
Yep.
Venmo.
Yep. We'll get a hold of Bo.
Caleb will hook up with you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Just get my $20 back for the dough
I'm
contest.
just making sure it's not someone I got to get a hold of.
Yep. Perfect. So, yeah, and there we are, guys. Right about at that 1 hour mark. Nuggies
She likes the trophy.
likes the trophy, likes her orange hat. So this is who's gonna shoot your big buck opening morning on her first youth hunt.
Yep.
Yeah. You're making Alexis think stuff.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
But all right. Well, thank you everyone for your support. We'll do an episode next Wednesday, episode 50. Will be
Yeah, opening week. We get to talk about opening weekend. That'll be fun.
Yep.
Exciting. Hopefully we
Got a deer or two or a story to share.
I'm sure we'll have stories.
Yep.
Good or bad, we'll have stories.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
never know.
Oh goodness. Yeah, you gotta watch her, dude. She's got a
really
grip
likes
now.
that turkey thing.
Yep. That bar mat.
Yeah.
The texture, I think. But yeah, so Steve, congratulations on winning your Rhino 100 blind.
He actually bought those hats today.
Yeah, today. Hey, gotta be in it to win it, you know. And we'll be probably doing something else, you know, for the t-shirts coming up. We'll do an order for that. We'll let you guys all know for that. And just keep rolling with it. But we appreciate everyone's support. And like I said, I think this opening a gun season is going to be
Well, the weather's shaping up for a good opener, so
a lot of people in the woods. You know, I think that's going to be part of it is looking at where, you know, some of the pressure's coming from. You know, maybe looking at some of your higher pressure neighbors pushing some deer out and around to you and just hunting it smart with the wind. You know, I think is the name of the game.
draw your game plan up.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes it get in early. Sometimes it might be getting after if they push them all out to you. So,
I don't know.
Yep. That's the beauty of opening day. I mean, opening day bucks. How many have you killed on opening day?
One.
I think I've only killed one too.
Opening days never really.
No, I've killed two. I killed Curly last year on opening day.
Yeah, you got.
Curly and my Big Ten were opening day bucks.
Yep, just one 8-pointer.
Two. $2. Yeah, so everyone be safe, shoot straight, wear your orange, know your target and beyond. Good reminder, Mom, for everybody to be safe out there. You know, tree stand safety is not an accident, so don't become an accident.
Yeah, don't be a
Harness
statistic.
up, don't be a statistic, and yeah, thank you guys for the support. We appreciate it. We're gonna get Nuggy wound down for bed before her mom calls me and complains that we don't. Yeah, bedtime. Very good.
No, Mom.
No.
Don't put me to bed.
All right, guys. Thank you all. Good luck opening weekend. Be safe, shoot straight, and appreciate all the support.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you very much.
catch you all next time on the show. See ya.